What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Picks and Roll DFS. We are absolutely on fire right now. After going 2-1 yesterday, that makes us 8-1 over the last few days. The roll is growing, and today I've got another 3 plays lined up for Saturday's WNBA slate. Before we jump in, don't forget, Betr is giving new users $10 free just for signing up, plus a 50% deposit match up to $200 with code DIME. And the cherry on top, you get a Carson Beck free square at higher than a half passing yard. That's free money. Links are down below. Quick recap of Friday. We went 2-1 on the card. Alicia Gray and Cameron Brink cashed for us, and Maddie Segrist had one of her best games of the year to spoil the sweep. Still, that pushes us to 8-1 over the last few days, and that's the kind of heater we love to ride heading into Saturday. Today's bankroll tip. When you see promos like this Carson Beck square or the Gunnar Henderson earlier this week, you have to leverage them. They're essentially risk-free value that lets you stretch your roll further. Always take advantage of plus EV opportunities the books give you. All right, let's go into our first play for today. We have Anisha Morrow going lower than 9.5 points. Now, personally, I love Anisha Morrow, so I hate going with her unders on points or rebounds because she will be a star in this league. But just looking at the data is why I am choosing to go lower than 9.5 points, and you'll see why in a moment. Now, one of the things I'm sure you've heard me mention before that sports bettors sometimes fall into is this recency bias. So we would look at things like the last 5 and see that within the last 2 games, she's exploded above this 9.5 points, and this would make us a little apprehensive. Or we would see the head-to-head, where we see that there's only 2 matchups. The first matchup, there was 0 points, and then the second one, that was in June, she went above this line as well at 60% or 16 points. And then that would make us a little nervous to play the under. However, we want larger sample sizes. So I'm looking at the last 20, where she's gone below this line 14 out of 20 times and averages around 8 points in that span and a median of 7. Additionally, if you look at the year as a whole, very similar to the last 20, going below this line 23 out of 25 times for a 66% hit rate, averaging around 7.5 and a median of 7 points as well. Then some other key insights to support this. Overall, again, they're going against Minnesota, the favorites to win the championship, best defense in the league. Overall, they rank first in points allowed. Then we can go specifically to forwards and see that they rank second to points allowed to forwards. Some additional data that help support our points. Then we can look even further, and we see that Morrow has failed to exceed 9.5 points in 8 of her last 10 games at home, and the Minnesota Lynx have put a lot of the forwards lately in their unders. So recent comps, like mentioning here, we can see at the bottom, like Natasha Howard, Brianna Jones, Nneka Ogwumike, all have gone under their scoring prompts against the Lynx. The combination of Morrow's recent form and Minnesota's defense make this a strong under spot. Now, all of these numbers are coming from Outlier, the tool I use daily to break down the hit rates, averages, and matchup data. If you want to research like I do, hit the link in the description and use the code LOB. All right, let's go into pick 2. Pick 2 for today is going to be Shakira Austin, going lower than 20.5 points plus rebounds. Now we can see here, line comparison. This is also the same for Moral. I didn't show it. I can go back and show you really quick. This is not even available on other apps, right? This is a huge favorite play on Underdog, and you can see that this is not even an option elsewhere. And then for this play, this is only available on Underdog, and then even a larger favorite on Sleeper. Now we can see that in her last 10 games, she has gone below this line 8 out of 10 times for an 80% hit rate, with her average and median both below that 20.5 points line. Then we can look at the last 20, where the rate goes a little bit lower, but still the average and median fall around 19 and a half, or even 20, which is perfect because this play is at 20.5. So this is going to be one of those plays that you want to make sure you get in as soon as possible, because this line may move. And if the line moves down to 19 and a half, then this is a play that I would personally avoid, just because of her averages. So we can see that with her last 20 games, she's gone below this line 11 out of 20 for a 55% rate. Head to head, both games this year, she's gone below this line. And then on the year as a whole, we go a little bit higher, back up to 61%, going below this line, 20 out of 23. Now, the key matchup insights that we want to look at here, as a forward/center, we can see that Golden State Valkyries, their defense is ranked 3rd in points allowed, and then 6th in rebounds allowed, which help us in terms of limiting Shakira Austin's success. Then we can go a little further, look at some more of those outlier insights, and we can see that Shakira has failed to exceed 19.5 points plus rebounds in 5 straight games on the road, averaging just 14.6. And then the key matchup that they can relate Shakira Austin to, Azra Stevens, went below her line of 20 in their last matchup against Golden State, which is just another reason why the numbers point to a regression for Shakira Austin today. All right, and before we hit play number 3, quick reminder, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss daily uploads. Sign up with Betr using code DIME for $10 free plus a deposit bonus, and take that Carson Beck free square today. And if you're ready for the full VIP cards every day, not just the free plays, join me over on Winnable now before NFL kicks off. Play 3 for today. We're going with Breanna Stewart, higher than 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. All right, so if we look at the last 20, she's cleared this line 14 out of 20 for a 70% hit rate, averaging 28.5 and a median of 30. And then we can also see that this line has been drastically moving since it dropped yesterday. So it started at 26.5, then went down to 25.5, then went to 26.5, and then it went to 25.5, and now, 24.5, and now it's at 25.5. So keep an eye on the line movement for this play, and make sure that you're choosing it at a line that makes you feel comfortable or that aligns with this data. And if you need help looking at, or you need research, again, Outlier is the best tool out there for calculating data for matchup trends, hit rates, etc. All right, let's look at head-to-head. So we have a lot of matchups even with last year that add into this data. If we look at just this year, she's cleared this line 2 out of 3 times for a 66% hit rate, which also aligns with the last year as well combined, 67. So 4 out of 5. Then we can look at 2025 as a whole, where she's cleared this line 18 out of 26 times for a 69% hit rate, averaging well above our line of 25.5 at 28 and a median of 29. Additionally, if we look at the key matchup stats against Phoenix, now this is where you might get a little wary in terms of Breanna Stewart's success. But again, keep in mind, although this is their team rankings, look at what Breanna has done to them. So just this year, she put up 40. And 35 of that was points. Okay. So when we look at this data, just keep these trends in mind. So they have Breanna Stewart listed as a forward, but we know she plays center as well. So we kind of look at both. But we can see that the matchup is unfavorable in terms of points allowed and assists allowed, as the Phoenix Mercury are ranked first in each of those stats for points allowed and assists allowed. Same here for centers. But again, we just talked about Stewart has successfully put up points against them. So that's not necessarily our concern. And then a positive spot is for both forwards and centers. We have a neutral and favorable matchup when it comes to rebounds. Okay, so we have some data that helps align with Breanna Stewart going above that 25.5 PRA. Additionally, some of those outlier insights tell us that Breanna Stewart has exceeded 24.5 points plus rebounds and assists in 6 straight games on the road, averaging well above at 33 points plus rebounds and assists as an average. And then one of the last things that we can look at here, we can see what Angel Reese has done against them, as well as Dearica Hamby. And if they are being successful against the Mercury, then Stewart should feast here as well. At 25.5, this line still feels too low given the matchup and her current form. So, quick recap for today. We have Anisha Morrow going lower than 9.5 points. Shakira Austin going lower than 20.5 points plus rebounds. And Breanna Stewart higher than 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's the Saturday card. Drop your favorite pick in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, and check the links below for Betr, Outlier, and Winnable. Let's build that roll.